Dr. Amy Gilliland, and I'm here to talk to you today about the top things to look for when considering a doula training. So, as a person entering the doula industry, you don't even know what questions to ask for. What should I know now that's going to matter down the line? That's what I'm here to help you with. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look at your organization's standards of practice and code of ethics. Really? Yes, really. This is the standard that you're being trained to. What's actually going to happen in the training? What are the values of this particular organization? Do they fit with your values? Is this the way that you see yourself practicing? Are the standards of practice and code of ethics helpful? Are they actually going to help you to make decisions out into the real world? Or do they just seem like a lot of words on paper? Do they seem like maybe they apply more to nurses than they do to doulas? So think about them. And because this is what is when you're actually out in the world serving clients, making decisions in labor rooms, these documents should help you. They should tell you this is the appropriate way to behave. Okay? So some organizations also have restrictions on where you can practice. At DTD, we do not. What we do is we give you guiding questions. Our code of ethics and standards of practice come out of 20 years of study with real doulas about how they make decisions. Nobody else has access to this information but DTD. So what we know is that sometimes you can do the same thing. Sometimes it's a comfort measure and sometimes it's an intervention. So we explain that in detail. When do you consult with another professional? That's explained in detail. How autonomous can I be as a doula? What things can I do by myself? And what things do I need to consult with? Once again, that's explained thoroughly in our documents. So that's the number one thing to look at, is the standards of practice and code of ethics. Does this reflect who I am? Does this tell me what I can and cannot do? Do I agree with those values and with those restrictions if there are any? So that's number one. Number two, check out the organization's certification process. Now, you may not be interested in certification right now, but you never know. The birth bug might get a hold of you, and after you go to 2 or 3 births, you might decide you want to get certified. In our organization at DTD, that's fine. You sign our code of ethics, standards of practice. You can go to 4, 5, 6 births and then decide you want to get certified and then meet the rest of the requirements. That's perfectly fine with us. Most other organizations, you have to enroll in their certification process first, and then your births count. Instead, we have made our process very friendly. No letters of recommendation because, heck, after 40 hours in the classroom with you together, we know you. We know, as trainers, we know what your challenges are. We know where you need to build your confidence. We know the areas where you need to grow. And that's what we do at DTD. We doula you through the process of becoming the doula you want to be. So I've done a whole nother video about why you might want to be certified or why you might not want to be certified. But just know that with us, you don't have to make up your mind right away. Okay? You could always add it on after you've been to a few births. So the third item you're going to want to look for in a doula training is what is actually covered in the training. What topics are covered in the training? What is knowledge, information giving, and what is skill building? Some of the most disappointed doulas I know said, I heard lots of great stories, but we never did anything. I saw PowerPoint slides, but I never put a hand on anybody, except for 15 minutes when we did counter pressure. So you want to make sure that you're being trained in a way where you can actually go out and perform those skills. At DTD, that's what we specialize in. That's why our trainings are never less than 3 days long, because you need 2 sleep periods for your brain to assimilate the behavior change so you can actually perform them. It means that we do hands-on learning and listening and interactive social learning activities throughout the whole training. And on the last day, we have you do a labor simulation with someone who is pretending to be in labor. If you're in our online class, we ask you to find a learning helper in your life, and we provide them with a script and with a whole pep talk in order to help them, and we with a script and handouts and a pep talk to help them so that you can learn the same way in your own home environment with your buddy helping you as you would as if you were with us here in person. And that simulation brings it all together. It makes a huge, huge difference. So in you being able to go out the next day or the next week, go into a labor room and be able to do labor support with confidence. Okay? So if the training that you're considering doesn't include simulation and doesn't include comprehensive education, then you really want to think about, well, what does I want to do? What do I want to get out of this training? Do I want to be able to go out and actually do this stuff? Or do I just want to be familiar with it? Because if all you want to do is be familiar with it or go to one birth or two births, a short 16-hour training might be all that you need. You're not concerned about a code of ethics because you're not going to be a professional. So different options for different people. But for those of you that are thinking, this is an investment, this is my calling, this is what I want to do, then you want to look at your teaching methods and as well as your topics. Is your course dealing with trauma-informed care? Is it dealing with implicit bias, racism, and all the other isms that can show up in the labor room? Is it addressing those issues head on? Because there's no more fraught place politically, really, than the labor room. So there's a lot going on with people's clashing values and perspectives. So unless your training is also giving you what you need in terms of communication strategies and conflict resolution, you won't feel confident in the labor room. You won't know what to expect, especially if things start to go awry or not as expected. All right. So that's something else. You want to make sure that the teaching methods that are being used and how you are being taught is comprehensive, is going to give you the results that you want to have.